Hello and welcome to this live broadcast from Guwahati, Assam on a day when 19 lakh people have been declared near stateless. An extraordinary exercise, perhaps the first time in the world that so many people have been disenfranchised or almost disenfranchised of their citizenship just like that at the stroke of a button. This is the culmination of Assam's National Register of Citizens, or NRC as it's known, an exercise which has taken almost 4 years to complete and which was essentially meant to be a culmination of a huge perception that the state was being overrun by illegals who would come in from Bangladesh over the years, especially after the 1971 war, and change the demography. But many are asking that at the end of all of this figure that has finally been thrown up, 19 lakhs, does it really match the hype, the propaganda that was built up about this illegal immigrant influx? Was it really worth it to go through this expensive, traumatic, divisive exercise just for this? Because just consider these numbers, that a total of 3.3 crore people applied as part of the National Citizens Register. 19 lakhs were excluded. That is only 6% of the entire total. But also remember, this 19 lakhs is going to come down. These people are technically still not foreigners. They will be applying to something called a foreigners tribunal, and that may discover that many of them are in fact Indians. So far, the strike rate of these foreigners tribunals has been about 50%. About 2 lakh people have been put through that process and about 1 lakh have been cleared. So let's assume that by the same average, 19 lakh could come down perhaps to even 9 or 10 lakhs. That's under 3% of the population of Assam. So does this, as we said once again, merit what the people of the state have been put through? Does it match the propaganda of a demographic capture? Well, no better example of that than to understand what's happening on the ground moments after the Citizens Register came out, then this report by my colleague Ratnadeep Chaudhary, where he went on the ground and found families divided.
Moments after Assam's citizenship list went public, we found 71-year-old Santosh Debnath anxiously looking for his name in a Nagarik Seva Kendra in Guwahati. He finds out he has been excluded, even though his brother and sister are included with the same documents, a land deed of his father from 1963.
ज़्यादा दुख का बात है, एक ही डॉक्यूमेंट में 3 का नाम आया, 2 का नहीं आया, ये कैसे हो सकता है?
If there was any expectation that the final list will be less controversial than the draft list, then they may have to think once again.
Among those excluded include an MLA from the Assam Assembly, Ananta Kumar Malo from the AIEDF party. Bishwajit Purkashta of Assamese origin served in the Meghalaya police and also received a gallantry award in 2002. He and his children have made it. His wife has not. From Assam's Kamrup district, here are more voices of families divided despite claiming to have documents.
For them who are among the 19 lakhs who have been excluded, this is the beginning of a new struggle to prove their citizenship, first in quasi-judicial bodies like the Foreigners Tribunal, and then, if need be, in courts.
Mercifully though, the streets of Guwahati remained peaceful, as did the rest of Assam. The only turmoil in the BJP, the party that has long defended the NRC, now has rubbished it.
It seems a conspiracy is there to target the Hindu migrants, or rather the Hindu refugees, and to safeguard the Muslim infiltrators.
Critics say the BJP's anger exposes its political agenda. They were hoping that the NRC would largely exclude Assam's Muslims. Instead, it appears that a large number of Hindus have been left out. This communal twist, the Congress says, goes against the spirit of the NRC.
Your position is that whether you're any religion, Hindu or Muslim, if you're a foreigner, you're out.
Foreigners as per the Assam Accord,
Has to be out.
Has to be out, has to be included or has to be out.
On a somber day in Assam, the only cheer among those who were left out in the draft list but included in the final list, like Hasina, the wife of Amjad Ali from Guwahati. Her husband and children had made it to the draft list. She had been excluded, but now she's in.
4 आदमी से 3 आदमी का आया है और एक का नहीं आया, इसलिए मैंने बहुत टेंशन था. तो अल्लाह का शुक्र है, आज सुबह जो उठा है लड़का, मेरा सोता लड़का देखा है तो आ गया.
With Ratnadeep Chaudhary and Srinivasan Jain in Guwahati, Vijay Kumar for NDTV.
So as we mentioned, Assam today calm and fingers crossed. We hope that stays that way. But the only turmoil was from the political end. Most strikingly, the BJP, which has been a strong backer of the Citizens Register but now has mounted a very strong attack against it. Himanta Biswa Sarma, no less, one of the senior leaders of the BJP here, a cabinet minister, saying that virtually the NRC, the BJP has lost faith and that they will now find a parallel way of evicting the real illegals. To try to understand what he meant by that, I spoke exclusively to Himanta Biswa some time ago. Let's listen. What you said in your comments is that we don't accept this version of, once again, you said that we will find, this is not the semi-final or the final.
Yes.
New Delhi and Dispur will find other ways of rooting out illegals. What did you mean by that?
I'll just elaborate my statement that we will continue to pursue it, Honorable Supreme Court, because Supreme Court has rejected our plea of 20% re-verification on the ground that 27% re-verification has already been taken place. According to us, that is not correct. That was not correct, and information was actually not given to Supreme Court with truth and fairness.
So one is you will pursue with the Supreme Court.
One is we will pursue with the Supreme Court.
Yes. What
second,
are the?
Second, BJP government has already committed that there will be a national population register at some point of time. So our request will be at that point of time to include Assam also in that national exercise.
Even though Assam has gone through, we'll do it all over again.
Every 10 years it is supposed to be updated, and nothing, no NRC is permanent, because today the person who has taken birth, his name has to be there. So every 10 years NRC is supposed to be updated. So we feel that let there be no isolated exercise for Assam. There should be a national exercise, and as and when you take up this national exercise after 5 years, 10 years, Assam should be part of it.
My gosh, okay. But Mr. Sarma, let me ask you this. Doesn't the NRC finding at the end of the day suggest that the entire hype that was made about lakhs and millions of illegals has been questioned? Because at the end of the day, you have a figure of 19 lakhs. So after the tribunal exercise, that may come down even further. So one argument is that the entire hype that was created about demographic change and all of that has been exposed today.
So demographic change is there to see what is exposed. I think that what is exposed, that Indian legal system is not enough to carry out the feeling and emotional of an indigenous community. Because demographic change is not that I am manipulating. You go to everywhere, it is apparent in Assam. So our problem is that in spite of entire effort by us, there are still need to be done, and we need that 20% re-verification, because the very existence of 1 million people has proved that whatever people of Assam is saying all this time, it is a fact. Because we have identified 19 lakhs. If 5 lakhs Hindu migrant is also, if you exclude that, 14 lakhs is identified, 5 lakhs has not applied. So 19 lakhs people we have only detected through this process.
Yes, but now the point is, the problem here is that this is a process which has now been going on for the past almost, it's a 3-decade-old process. You have supported it till now. Just because the findings are not to your liking, you've rejected this. Now you say we will do another exercise. If that also doesn't come to your findings, you will go on rejecting.
Till Assamese interests are secure, till Indian interest is secure, this fight will go on.
This fight will go.
This
The fight is
will
not
go
over
on.
yet.
Cannot be, because there is so many issues in this fight.
Okay.
You have to brought clause 6, you have to secure border, you have to find out the people who manipulated legacy data. It cannot be.
Isn't this just vote bank politics?
What?
You accuse the
Anyone,
Congress and
Sri-
other parties of playing vote bank
Srinivasan
politics.
ji,
Isn't this
vote
you
to-
yourself playing vote
Vote
bank?
is there already for Narendra Modi. You don't have to do politics for vote. Because anywhere you do NRC or do not do NRC, people will vote for Narendra Modi. So that is a different ball game.
Okay.
What we are doing, we are trying to secure the interest of India and Assam.
Okay, you're trying to secure the interests of India. Some would say this exercise has already done that, but you are not accepting it.
The war is not over.
The war is not over,
It
says
will
Himanta
continue.
Biswa Sharma.
It will continue.
The war is not over, says Himanta Biswa. All right, joining us tonight on the show, I have with me here, waiting patiently, Shiladitya Deb. He's a very outspoken MLA of the BJP. Also joining us on the show, we have Aman Wadud, human rights activist, Bhaskar Jyoti Gogoi, who's a supporter of the BJP. We also have with us Suhas Chakma, a human rights activist, and of course Aarti Jairat, leading journalist. Aman Wadud, if I can just start by asking you that you just heard Himanta Biswa. He says that they reject the NRC, that actually the real numbers are much larger of illegals who have not been captured. But you have argued, I just saw your piece today, that this finding has debunked the propaganda of this huge wave of invasion, this outsiders invasion. Explain why.
Well, this is a historic day in a way, because in the last few decades, several numbers were thrown up. 1997, Inderjit Gupta said 40 lakhs Bangladeshis in Assam. 2004, Sri Prakash Jaiswal, MOS Home said 50 lakhs Bangladeshis in Assam. Last election was fought based on this issue that Assam will be taken over by Bangladeshis. When the Citizenship Amendment Bill was passed in the Lok Sabha, Mr. Himanta Biswa Sharma said that 17 constituencies are dominated by Bangladeshi Muslims. Today, when the NRC final list is out, a list which is monitored by the Honorable Supreme Court, executed by the government employees under the central government and the state government, and that list has found 19 lakhs people excluded, right? And in the 19 lakhs, lot of people are genuine Indian citizens. In many cases, parents are in, children are out. 2 siblings are in, 2 siblings are out. There is no way that these people, all these peoples are foreigners.
So you're saying the point I was making earlier, that is going to come down even further.
Of the BJP, and that is going to come down even further if Foreigners Tribunal act in a judicious and non-arbitrary manner. True. So this final list has actually exposed the propaganda of the BJP and all other vested interested parties.
Yes, I'll come back to you,
propaganda has fallen flat today.
Has this exposed of the propaganda of the BJP? Because you've been making the claim that there are these thousands of illegal infiltrators, but the numbers, 19 lakhs, it could be even less.
See, there is a purpose for having NRC in Assam. There was an agitation in Assam for about 7 years, and in 1985 we had the Assam Accord.
Yes,
and during that time, it was told that there are 80 lakhs infiltrators in Assam. This Assam agitation was not against the Hindu migrants; it was against the Muslim Bangladeshis.
But and now, hold on. Are you now rewriting history? Because those who are part of the Assam Accord have never given it a communal slant. You're doing that now.
We cannot forget history, because this country was divided on the basis of religion.
But that was not the Assam Accord. That was not the Assam Accord. Anyway, let's not get into Assam Accord. I'm just asking you a simple question, that it may be 80 lakhs, it may be 40 lakhs. Do you now concede that all those figures are wrong?
These are wrong figures
because now it's only 19 lakhs. So do you concede that the number is much less?
See, yes, because when the draft list had come out with 40 lakhs, in fact that time only we had said that it should have been at least 1 crore. But then anyway, we could make out that there were a lot of technical slags in updating the process. And today we find out that it is 19 lakhs, which will further reduce to probably 9 or 10 lakhs. And it seems there is a conspiracy to target the Hindu migrants, Hindu refugees only.
Why? Why would you say a Supreme Court monitored process is targeting Hindus? Are you questioning the Supreme Court?
I am sorry to say that there was no committee. There was no committee installed by the Supreme Court of India for monitoring this entire process. The entire process was dependent on only one single person who behaved like a super chief minister in Assam.
But Mr. Shiladitya, he was being monitored actively by the Supreme Court anyway. Suhas Chakma wants to come in. Suhas.
I just want to make one thing clear to Mr. Shiladitya Dev, that the Foreigners Act doesn't make a distinction between Muslims, Hindus, Sikhs or Christian. You are either a foreigner or not a foreigner. It depends on the date. In Assam, it's 24th March 1971. So if you say it's a conspiracy against the Hindus, it's not legally tenable. That's not what the law provides. I think we have to remember that the entire story of Assam being, swamped by the foreigner is wrong, because that is not provided even in the census data. Census says from 71 till 2011, and now it's less than the national average. What I wanted to point out is the fact that at least 1 lakh tribals have been excluded from the NRC, and they were denied 23,000 families as per the affidavit of the government of Assam before the Supreme Court. They were denied Forest Rights Act because they could not prove that they were in a particular area till 31st December 2005. So are you going to send them to prisons? Is the BJP government is planning to send them to prisons? Because they have no documentation to prove whatsoever prior to 2005.
Okay, let me take that. Okay, let me broaden that and take that to Bhaskar Jyoti Gogoi about what is going to happen to all these people, because Bhaskar Jyoti Gogoi, there is another hype that has been built up that all these people will be deported. Now, at the end of this process, finally, whoever many are found to be foreigners, whether it's 9 lakhs, 10 lakhs, whatever number, what is going to happen to them? Because Bangladesh has clearly said that we are not accepting any of them, and India has accepted. The foreign minister has gone to Bangladesh and said, this is India's internal matter.
Before coming into your question, I'd like to say today is one of the darkest days in Assam's history. When all of India take 1951 as the base year, we take 1971 as the base year. We get IMDT Act is applicable only in Assam. And now we get this NRC, is so erroneous, and it is excluding our own people, indigenous people, and it has given a legitimacy to Bangladeshi immigrants, illegal immigrants. So this is a very dark day. You look at the border.
Bhaskar, but can I ask you? Can you answer my question?
Look at the border. Look at the border district. There only 6% are excluded, but in a district like Karbi Anglong, 15% are excluded.
Okay, Bhaskar.
So, for the entire, as Aman Wadu said, there is lot
but
of
Bhaskar, can I ask you the question about what is going to happen to these people? About the deportation?
No, deportation.
What about the deportation?
Deportation comes at the very end. But let us first have the re-verification first. Let us do a 100% re-verification. Government asks for 20%. I am asking for 100% re-verification. Why? We have waited 35 years for this. We can wait for 5 more years.
Okay, you want to reopen the entire Pandora's box?
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Why not?
Okay.
Because it concerns
let me just bring in Aarti Jairath.
Okay, let me bring in Assamese people. We are being mauled over by these immigrants.
Right. Okay, Bhaskar.
Yes.
Okay, Bhaskar, let me bring in Aarti Jairath. Aarti Jairath, now we had a situation today, Aarti Jairath, where the BJP in Assam is saying we are against the NRC, scrap the NRC. In Delhi, they're saying we want a Delhi NRC, let's take it to other parts of the country.
That's right.
Has the BJP got itself into a bit of a box here?
Absolutely. Vasu, I think the list that has come out in Assam today has knocked out the bottom of their plank completely, because they had built up this hype that Assam was overrun by illegal migrants, and not just Assam. Now they're saying, of course, the whole country has been overrun by illegal migrants, and now we find that is absolutely untrue. And as you've pointed out, this 19 lakhs is likely to come down further, and in the end you'll end up with a minuscule number of people who, are actual foreigners. Now, the point is that look at the human dimension of this problem that has been landed because of vote bank politics. For the last so many years, people in Assam have been living with this Damocles sword hanging over their head over whether they are citizens of this country or not citizens of this country. And now the BJP wants to extend this to Delhi, they want to extend this to West Bengal, and then finally the whole country. And you are just dividing people on communal lines. You are dividing families, making people insecure. You're making, I mean, what is the value today of the papers that you hold if the papers are going to be described as forged?
Madam, if you'll be more concerned about the Indians' concern rather than the concern of
we are all concerned about the Indians.
No,
I'm sorry, do not try to paint us as anti-nationals. This is a really wrong thing to do.
Hold on.
Everybody.
Let me just cut in. Can we just lower mics? I have on the phone line with me, sorry, I need to do this because I have on the phone line with me someone called Mafusur Rahman, who's a doctor, and he's someone who in fact tweeted earlier. Mafusur Rahman, you're joining us on the phone line. You actually tweeted saying you finished your day's work at the hospital where you work and you came home to find that you have been labelled a foreigner.
Yes, sir, yes. To begin with, a very good evening to all the distinguished panel and to all your viewers.
Describe to us what has happened.
I'm extremely sorry that I could not join you on video due to the network congestion. Hello, sir, am I audible?
That's all right. Go ahead, sir. Tell us. Yes, we can hear you fine, sir. Go ahead. Tell us what happened.
Yes, sir, yes. We, all the citizens of Assam, cutting across the communities, we have cooperated with the whole exercise called NRC since the very beginning. We have waited till the end of this final list to come out. Until the last moment, we have waited with so much of patience and full of cooperation. We have attended the hearings as and when they called us, as and where they called us. We have told them that we are Indian citizens.
Right.
We have showed them adequate evidence of our documentation.
Right.
Whatever they wanted, list A, list B, all documents we had. We had produced electoral rolls up to 7166. We have land documents of 42. My grandpa has died in 2012. My younger grandpa is alive.
And yet you were declared a foreigner?
In the state of Assam, in India. And he is an Indian passport holder. He went for pilgrimage called Hajj.
Right.
And today, our name has been
and yet you were, and yet, sir, you've been declared a foreigner.
NRC register.
And you're a doctor, sir?
Yes.
You're a doctor?
I am a homeopathic doctor. I am a PHMS doctor.
That's extremely unfortunate. That's extremely unfortunate, but your story, unfortunately, is reflected like the story of many, many others. An MLA has been labelled a foreigner. We just reported on how the wife of a police officer who serves in Meghalaya has been labelled as a foreigner. So there are deep, deep questions over all of this, but not perhaps in the way that Mr. Shiladitya Deb though sees it. Mr. Deb, I want to put to you the same question I asked Bhaskar Jyoti Gogoi, that this question of the deportations, are you aware, sir, of how many people have actually been deported through the tribunal process to Bangladesh since 1985?
It is said that about somewhere between 3,500 must have been deported.
The number is much less. The number, sir, no, deported to Bangladesh, sir, only 4.
Maybe.
Only 4 people have been deported.
Declaration was 3,500
Declaration of foreigners is about 1 lakh by the tribunal, only 4 have been deported. Is this entire contestation claim of deportation a myth? It's never going to happen.
See, it's again a different story because you need Bangladesh help as well, because if Bangladesh doesn't accept that they are their nationals, you cannot forcefully send them to Bangladesh.
So
because
then
when the tribunal,
because Bangladesh has said no, they're not accepting
because when the tribunals give a judgment, they don't say it's a Bangladeshi national, they say it's a foreigner.
So then what will happen to all these people?
see, this is a matter where we have to again sit and everybody, all section of people, government, agencies have to sit together and formulate some policy.
But
maybe work permit can be given.
We haven't thought this through yet?
Maybe work permit can be given. I remember when L.K. Advani ji was the Deputy Prime Minister, he has suggested about issuing work permits.
Okay,
but that was rejected by the ASU at that time.
So they are given work permits, but they lose other rights of citizenship. Is that
Naturally,
what you're saying?
yes.
I see. Suhas Chakma, last quick comments from you. What is going to happen to these people?
See, as per the law, they have...
What's the end game here?
The prosecution under the Foreigners Tribunal has already started from tomorrow up to 120 days. Then they have to be sent to detention center, who is a prisons, and people have been detained in Assam beyond the maximum punishment, which is 5 years under the Foreigners Act. Now, I just wanted to put one question to the audience here. The entire debate about having a national NRC is identifying the people of East Bengal or undivided Bengal. It is not about the Pakistanis coming here, it's not about the Sri Lankan coming here. And if Mr. Siladitya Dev is talking about the Hindus from Bangladesh, please remember, in Delhi they are not identifying the Pakistanis or Nepalese or Sri Lankan. It's all about people who have come from undivided Bengal, and this has been continuing from 1905 when Bengal was divided, and it still continues after 100 years. And if you cannot put your thought into this, then people are going to suffer.
Yeah, Vasu, I am extremely surprised that they don't have a policy yet on what to do with people who will be declared foreigners. They have not even thought it through. They have not even worked it out. And they're going to put all these people
I don't think that's been thought through. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And they're going to put all these people into detention centers, which is basically putting them in jail. I mean, you know, this is really, it goes against the spirit
That's right. Well, in fact, even that is going to be a huge
which
challenge.
guarantees liberties to everybody, you know. I mean, it's a shocking situation.
Okay, yes. All right, we'll have to leave it there, but just to put it in perspective, there are only 6 detention centers which hold 1,000 people. We're told 10 more are going to be built, but even that is going to be hugely inadequate. We're talking about hundreds and thousands of people which will require hundreds of detention centers, none of which one can foresee in the immediate future. But we'll have to leave it there. Thank you all so much for joining us on the show tonight. We will be back tomorrow at 9 o'clock as we continue to focus on this massive disenfranchisement of nearly 2 million people in Assam. That's it for now. Good night.